Do y'all see my sweatshirt? To all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical dishes in your bushes who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club, sipping more wet is where you find me. Hey, the back of the club, sipping more wet is where you find me. The back of the club, sipping more wet is where you find me. All right, let me stop. Back of the club, sipping more wet is where you find me. Hey. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So, I just had to show off my sweatshirt, and I feel like this sweatshirt is really appropriate because my friendship with Kara, Beauty and the Frizz, we love us some hip hop. We love us some songs. If Versus is coming on, we trying to watch. We got playlists. We share playlists. I know she loves some Biggie. So I got this sweatshirt off of Instagram. Instagram got me. And they just kept coming up in my feed. I have no idea who I bought it from. So if I find it, I will, in my emails or whatever, I'll just link it down below. So the quality is not bad. It feels better now that I had to steam it. I had them deep wrinkles in it from just being folded. It came nice and everything, but I steamed it out so I could be a little presentable for y'all. Anywho. So the quality, it feels like neoprene, so it's not like sweatshirt material. It is lined, It is what it is, It's not one of those sweatshirts where you're like, oh my God, it's the best quality ever in life, but it's not bad at all. I don't know what it says about washing it. Don't ask me all of that. So, hey y'all, once again, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So today, it's part 2 of our collab, and we are talking about the best releases of 2021. Yes, so yesterday we had the most disappointing, and boy, were they ever disappointing. But today we have the best releases. So before I get carried away, because I'm already carried away, let me go ahead and introduce myself. If you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you're older but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy. I love makeup. That's how you get Dr. Ash in her makeup. And eyeshadow really is my jam, okay? But please just call me Ash or Ashley. Now, I am collabing once again with my girl, Beauty and the Frizz. Put it right there, right there. And her name is Kara. She's a 2nd grade teacher. She's the one who gave me the ears. Let's see. She wears ears, okay? Because she loves all the Disney stuff, Let me put my ears on. Yeah, we're going to rock them for a little bit. Okay. Anywho, so she gave me these ears so I could be like her. So, we are talking about the best launches of 2021. So, I know she's premiering her video, and she's probably makeup and mimosing as she does on Sundays. But, let's see. It's 7:26. I have a glass of wine. This is Kim Crawford, Sauvignon Blanc, the light kind. 70 calories. I don't need all that sugar in my life. Anywho, so we have the best releases of 2021. Yesterday we did the most disappointing. And we were just talking and we were like, yes, that release was good. That release was good. So, it was a lot of good stuff that came out this year. So I just can't really narrow it down. We said we're going to do 10, but we ended up doing 5. But, just anything else I like, you'll catch it in my favorites video. So, anywho, I don't have this in any fashion. It's not ranked. We're just going to grab. We're going to talk about it. Let's see. What do I want to talk about first? Okay. So this is kind of like at the beginning of 2021. And this was a good release. This is when you think the makeup world is about to be chill. It was like, it shouldn't be that much coming out. But you know what? That's the problem. I really been liking indie brands lately. And it's so many indie brands. You're like, oh my gosh, it's always a release. So, where we're chilling, minding our business, we get a little email from Kaleidos that there's going to be a release happening. We're invited to the club. So hey, to all the ladies in the place with style and grace. Okay, let me stop. So we're invited to the club. And what club am I talking about? I am talking about Club Nebula. Yes, this was amazing release. This was a collaboration with Angelica Nyquist. And this collaboration was just so fitting. They kind of go together like a hand in glove. She loves Kaleidos. She's been talking about Kaleidos ever since they came out. I think I was introduced introduced to Kaleidos from her channel with the sci-fi palettes, the little futurisms, the little 5-pan jump-offs. Excellent quality, okay? So their packaging, top tier. So you know, like the packaging off jump, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be creative. It's going to be out of the box. I mean, look, do you see, like, we would say this is like the duochroma packaging, but we got the holographics, we got the Club Nebula. It's a little bit thicker, you know, but it's not bad at all. And look at the color story. Like, you knew she's going to give you a red, she's going to give you a lime green, and she's going to give you a peach shimmer, because she tells you she likes peach shimmers with the red mixed together. And you know she loves her colorful shades. But you can get a couple little neutral looks out of this palette right here. And let's see. This shade, what is it? Naru and Rock Hopper. Really, really gorgeous. And the peach shades, the shimmers, you got dual chromes, you got some toppers. This little quad right here of mattes gives me whole entire life. When I tell you I love that, oh my God, I love it. Every time I pull out this palette, I just get so happy. I'm like, yes, I'm finally getting the chance to use my Kaleidos again. And I use it quite often. It kind of sits right here where I would keep like my mirror. I mean, it sits right here partly also because it's a little bulky, but it's not bad bulky, but it's cool. So I don't mind it being in my collection. So, you know, the imagery was amazing. So the launch was well planned, well thought out. Now, I did have to wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning to purchase this. But I mean, what can you do? Because she's in Sweden, even though she's about to, you know, make her journey on over to the States. But she's in Sweden. So she had to cater to that fan base, even though she has a lot of fan base in America. Kaleidos is out of China. So it was a lot of time zones to respect. So I literally woke up, I think, at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or tried to stay up and get this palette, which is usually not a problem because I'm a night owl. But when I got to work and stuff, I'm like, I don't be having time. I need to get my rest. So, but this collection was amazing. I mean, it was just so well thought out. I think I said that already. It did come with a deck of playing cards. That was all that came with the palette. And then even the outside packaging of the palette was great. Like the box they shipped it in, it just carried out with the theme, and it just made it such an experience to purchase this palette. I want to say this palette was in a range of about $60 to maybe $70. It was a little bit more expensive by being a collab, but Kaleidos has a great formula. The mattes are always great. They have shimmers always great. They always have vibrant color stories. So I knew when I saw this was Kaleidos, and especially with Angelica Nyquist, I was like, yes, just throw it in the bag. I want it. This release is bomb. And I know some people, like, they had to bring it back a couple of times because it sold out. It sold out again. I think it was a third restock for this particular palette. And this is like one of a kind in my collection. One of a kind. I literally love it. All right, so for the next release I want to talk about, this was just amazing too, but I almost missed out on it. And Beauty and Frizz got me together. She was like, girl, how you not? And I was like, you are so right. I wanted to, but then I was like, no, I don't need to. And then I was like, I have lost my mind. I need to. So I am talking about the legendary Diversa collection by Odin's Eye Cosmetics. So I only have 2 of the palettes. It was a set of 3. The palette by Judy is beautiful. It's more red. And sometimes those particular types of red shades that she chose on my complexion don't sit the best because I'm very red and I'm very golden, as you can see. But also I just feel like I had a lot of that in my collection, but these 2 really drove me in. So here's the thing, right? So I had bought the Norns collection earlier this year, and it's like, you know how you try something and you're like, this is good, but I don't know if I really like this. So I was on the fence. So after I bought the Norns collection, and I never talked about it on my channel, I was just like, I don't know if I really need anything else from Odin's Eye, to be honest, okay? Just the truth. So then I see that my girl Tina, the Fancy Face, is getting a collab, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she is well overdue for a collab, you know. Like, the girl has been in it for a long minute. She needs a clap. So it's like, how am I gonna miss out on it? And then, you know, her color story is amazing. You know, she takes us on a trip to Jamaica. And then I see Annette's and I'm like, oh man, this one is really cute too, dark and grungy. And then both of the palettes have multi-chromes in it. So how could I say no? So what I do prior to this launch, I go ahead, I pull out my Erd palette from the Norns collection, the little smaller palette, and I redo a look. I just do a look, getting ready for work, and I'm like, well, I like this. Because sometimes, you know, when you try something and you don't always understand the formula, and I did get quite a few comments about that on this particular video when I did these palettes, that, you know, the formula was a little bit harder to work with, especially the shimmers. But they're so pigmented. I mean, when you swatch them, they're just going for days down your arm. But if you don't understand how to use it and it's just not like the best experience, you're like, I could just pass on that. So I was just like, I was basically at that point. But when I retried the Herb palette, I was like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. I like this. I like this. I understand how to use it now. So this launch was amazing. Like, oh my gosh. They did such a good job. You have the nice little sleeves to the palettes. So I really like that. I mean, I'm not really a person that likes the whole box situation. You give me an outer sleeve, I'm cool with it, okay? And then everybody got to pick something that was special to them. So Judy, because she is of Asian descent, picked the red dragon. Tina's from Jamaica. She loves hummingbirds, so she took us on a tropical, you know, paradise excursion to her homeland, you know. She grew up in Jamaica. She immigrated to New York City when she was in college or her late teenage years. And then Annette is of Norwegian descent. I believe she lives in Las Vegas, but she chose like a fable, you know, from her culture. And it is such beautiful color stories in here. So, of course, Annette's is like purple, is grungy, it's a little bit more cooler tone. You do have some warm tones. Like I say, look at the shade Eternal. Please, please, please look. Please look. It's so good. And then the shade Fancy right here. This is down at the bottom. In the Fancy Faces palette. Like, these are the multi-chromes. So good, so silky, so smooth, just like standard multi-chrome, you know, formula that you would expect. Just really beautiful. They kind of look the same at the moment right here on my hand rather, but everything was just really nice. I would say that the shimmer's a little bit thicker. You definitely need like a reference P21, maybe your finger to kind of make these work. Maybe putting down a little glitter primer or something like that. But then they came with scarves. Okay, I don't have the scarves close. I have to get over a lot of hurdles to get to the scarves. But each palette had a scarf with their face on it. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like, so good. Like, I just can't even. So good. So, I love it. Executed so well. Part of my favorite palettes of 2021. Special to my collection. Love these palettes so much. So I'm so happy that Beauty and the Frizz told me to get my life together. Well, I think actually she had to get her life together too, because she had to figure out if she liked the formula too. Because a lot of people like Old Inside, but like I said, the shimmers are a little tricky. So, you know, you got to know what you're doing to kind of make it work. Because the first time I used it, I was like, I mean, it's cute, but what's going on? All right, so for the third release, this is something that I have been wanting forever from my favorite brand. And it's just like, I don't want to see anything else until you give me what I asked for. And she finally made it happen. And I'm talking about my mama, my auntie, all in one. And that is Pat McGrath, okay? Miss Patricia, all right? She finally gave us blushes. Finally. I mean, finally. You know what I mean? Like, we have been waiting for blushes forever. And she had been doing so many promos, and it was just so many pinks, and it was roses, and we're like, oh my gosh, what is going on? What is she going to give us? Did she tease? Did she tease? And then finally she was like, it's a blush. And we're like, praise God. And then I was like, I feel like it's just going to be one pink blush and I'm going to be so upset. She got me right together. She said, oh, it's not one pink blush, but I got 8 blushes, a Luxe Eye Quad for you, some more Divinals, and a highlighter. I said, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so happy. So I actually decided to get 4 of the blushes. You can mix and match. There were a lot of different bundles on the website that were actually up the night before, so I could see, I knew what blush shades I wanted, but you can get like the eye palette with the highlighter with like maybe 2 blushes and then just tack on your other 2, or you can get the 2 together. You can pick which shades you wanted. It was just like you get 2 or you can get 3. You can get everything with the lip products. It was just well executed, okay? Then we just knew like, oh man, it's going to be a disaster getting these blushes because, when Divine Rose 2 came out, like people were like, woof. Even people who hadn't been on Pat McGrath, everybody was like, oh my God. So the website was crazy. But with the blushes, we were like, oh man, it's going to be like this. Pat even said that this is her most requested item. She's going to sell out. We got to be strategic, right? You cannot be on here trying to figure out, fiddling and faddling around and miss your basket. But that was not the case. She had plenty of inventory. So I actually, like I said, I picked up 4 blushes and I have the highlighter. The highlight is Golden Nectar. And I'm going to be careful because I actually dropped this when I was out of town. I thought my makeup bag was closed and I took it off the bed to put on the dresser and everything went flying. But I did a wonderful job of pressing it together. I kid. Well, actually it's not bad, but I kid. It's yeah. So I love this highlighter. It's just like a really nice gold, but it's not too golden. And it's warm, but it's not too warm. So it's the right, just in the middle, And I really love how it goes on. And it can be very blinky and blinding. And it's just so easy to apply. So I really do love it. Then we have Lovestruck, which was one of the darker pinky shades. So beautiful. I also picked up the shade Paradise Venus. I was a little bit on the fence about Paradise Venus because it looks so dark in the swatches, but it's gorgeous. And we also have Cherish. This is probably my most used one because it is just a classic pink. Even though I was just trash talking the classic pink, it kind of goes with everything. And last but not least, we have Electric Bloom. Electric Bloom is a little hard to open. That's the only thing I don't like about this. Okay. It's more corally. It's really pretty. So I do hope that she extends the blushes and gives us a couple more purples and, like some orangey shades. I will really appreciate that. Not to mention, it came with this beautiful Venus in Florence Luxe Quad. The packaging was just simply stunning. And I really enjoyed the purple. The packaging was also the same for, the lipstick components and for the blush components. I just saved one of them. I didn't save them all, And, even though we're like, okay, it's kind of, mauve-y, pinky, rosy, but these shades are gorgeous. This is the Voyeuristic Vixen Eye Quad. The shade right here, Rose Fire Nectar, baby. It's like one of those multi-chromes that has a lot of sparkle, a lot of shimmer. Really, really beautiful. Now, this one is a little bit more flaky. So, honestly, do you see that? Really, really pretty. So definitely like Pat McGrath intensifies using that, a glitter glue, wetting your brush a little bit just to keep it on your eye. This shade right here is actually like a cream to powder. So that's like a new formulation for her, or a creamy matte, I think she's calling it. It blends so effortlessly. And this particular brown, I actually like to just put it all over the eye. It's really pretty. And it has like a little hint of purple in it. Wonderful. So she really, she did her thing. The next release is more of a newer release, but when I saw it, I was just really excited. And I was just like, I need to have it, even though I have a lot of multi-chromes in my collection. But I was just like, you know what? This is for me. And this right here is the Denessa Myrick's Lightwork 3 Infinity Palette. Okay, so what we have going on here, all duochromes, except for this particular shade right here, which is Black Hole. That is actually our one matte shade. It is more like a creamy matte shade, so it's very easy to blend out. We do have a pressed glitter, so these are mixed mediums. They're not all the same, but this pressed glitter that she is saying that it's a no mess glitter, and I feel like she's right. You know, I think I would have more fallout with this particular shade, this Voyeuristic Vixen, versus the shade Orion. And that's so true. I don't know how she did it because I'm not a pressed glitter fan, but she did it. And then we also have some creams like the shade right here, which is Polaris and Spacesuit. Really beautiful as well. You can use them as highlighters. Then she gave us a whole row of highlighters. And this palette actually came with a free little mini palette with just a row of highlighters. I mean, we have like Spring Equinox, and they're very smooth, you know? So there's a right inner corner highlight, the right just throw them on the cheek. We have Strawberry Moon. It's really pretty. I mean, it's just, you know, I think everybody's kind of used to the pink flip highlighter, but it's really, really gorgeous. You cannot deny it. And I think she just did an excellent job. Like, one of my favorite shades is, what is it, Gaia or G? It's so, like, it's a gold, green, shift, lime green. Honey. Do you see this? I also love the shade Martian. It's a little bit softer, but it just gives that right, like, iridescent look. Galaxy. So you have something for everybody. The only thing about this palette, it's like limited edition. And it's very limited quantities. I mean, she said it was going to be limited quantities, but I think it might be sold out everywhere. So that's really unfortunate, because even though this palette is expensive, it's $125. When we're talking about multi-chromes, like just true multi-chromes, and if you buy a lot of multi-chromes, you know what I'm saying. Multi-chromes are expensive. If you buy multi-chromes from Cleona, I'm trying to wipe off my hands. Oh, here's makeup wipe. Well, that's dried out. But if you're buying multi-chromes like from Cleona, Terra Moons, Divina, they are running in the $20 range. You have to catch them on sale, and when they're on sale, they're like $10, $15, $16. You know, so multi-chromes can be very expensive. So $125 for this, I don't think is unreasonable, just because I am very familiar with multi-chromes. Now, I would say that this would be a good value if you did not have a lot of multi-chromes in your collection, because this kind of gives you the gamut of the most popular colors. Like, you had that green to gold, you had the gold, you had your like your magenta to the orange flip, you had your turquoise to the green to the purple flip, you have your orange, you got your gold, you kind of got the highlighter situations, you have your blues. So I think it's a good variety of things that you will want from multi-chrome colors if you're looking to purchase them. So overall, I feel like this is such a solid release. The packaging is gorgeous, it's simple. I love how this is textured. I love how the Denessa Myrick is in holographic, and it's like a little bit more embossed. It's just executed so well. The sticker is very flush to the bag. It tells the right information that you need. You know, it was just a great release. And I was actually able to get 20% off when I purchased this from her website. So this year, I think everybody can say, in terms of your base makeup, that this year has been like the year of the skin tint, okay? And Miss Fenty, Miss Rihanna, she gave it to us. She gave us, I want to say, this comes in about 20 shades, maybe 25. It's not the full range of her foundation, but it's made for that if you wear a certain shade, you can wear 2 or 3 shades of this. So it's not like, you know, with skin tints, it's like, oh, you don't have to wear, you know, that perfect match. Like it kind of transforms with you. That's what I'm trying to say. But she was like the first one to give us, I mean, it's been other skin tints, but I feel like she was the first one. This has been a favorite. This is such a good product. Now I have 17 now. So when it comes to my particular color and her Fenty foundation, I wear 385 and the recommendation was 17. So I was actually one of those that only had like one shade to basically work with. So I picked mine up pretty much immediately prior to the spring VIB sale, and I have loved it. I mean, it's just like the right size. It's lightweight. It looks great. It stays on even if you're going to have a mask on. It's like if you're going to be sweating a lot. Now, unfortunately, I didn't wear this too much in the summer, but because I needed to just pick up a deeper shade. But I mean, it's great. I love the top, how it has like, you know, it's just, like I said, it's just a drop and it's just like, it keeps it from getting too cakey and just looking all runny. I mean, it was, oh. Let me just put the top on. All right, but you had a nice amount of product. The shape was interesting. It's just a good product, not too expensive. You know there's going to be something in all the ranges for all the girls because Rihanna's going to be inclusive. So I just really, really enjoyed this release. I think she was spot on. Everybody's been into the skin tints lately, especially because we're wearing a mask. You know, and it gives you another option. It's like if you want some coverage, but you don't want too much coverage, you just go throw your skin tint on and you go on about your business. You know what I mean? And it works well. Even if I had dry skin, I wasn't feeling like, ooh, like this is tight. I think it worked well with the women who have, you know, more so, oily combination skin. So I think that this was pretty much kind of like, you know, a fan favorite. I really enjoyed this. I think that this was like a top release for sure. And then I got one honorable mention, okay? And I mean, it was just so many. It was just really hard. But I'm just going to go ahead. And because eyeshadow's my jam, we're basically talking about eyeshadow. And I do have some other favorite products that I'll talk about later on in some favorite videos. But just gonna go ahead. Natasha Denona Retro. I really like this palette, okay? And at first I saw it, I was like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I was like, I don't need it. And then I was like, but it's beautiful. Oh, but you got so many mauve peach. But this one, it was just done right. It's a little cool tone, it's a little warm tone. Got a little grunge in the middle, you know, like right there. Look at that little dip right there in that shade, you know, because I go in and pull that shade out for other stuff. Got her cream to powder. Now, I totally forgot, or I totally didn't even realize when she released this palette that it actually had a few repeat shades, like from Lila. I was like, oh, missed that. But we have Amara, that was a repeat. I think, what was it? Was it Vivian? I don't know. But look, let me tell you. This palette is gorgeous. I love it. And it just works so well. It never lets me down. It was such a solid release. It really was. So that's my honorable mention right here. So those were my top 5 plus my honorable mention releases for 2021. I think that these palettes, I mean, when I just think about like my favorite, I'm like, yes, these palettes definitely come to mind. Like the Kaleido, Soul Design, the blush. I mean, because we had just been waiting for blush for so long when it comes to Pebble We were like, girl, stop playing. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know down below in the comments what was your favorite release of 2021, like, or just a couple of your releases that you liked so much, what you think was the best release. Do you agree with any of the choices that I presented to you today? Make sure you go on and go over to Beauty and the Frizz's channel and check her video out, and go ahead and, you know, she probably got August and Marky all in the video. Oh my God, that just reminded me. Let me tell you. Because I know the words and songs. I'm such a music person. When I say all in the video, that really just reminded me of Suge Knight standing at the Source Awards. Like, y'all got to be hip hop fans or just know about this or grow up in the generation. But You know, when I said Marky and August all in the video, that just really reminded me of when Suge Knight got up there with well, no, it was really with Snoop Dogg, and it was like, you ain't got no love for the West and the East at the Source Awards, and he was like, if you don't want to have your executive producer all in the video dancing, he was talking about Puff Daddy, because you know Puff Daddy just be doing the little dance. Come to Death Row Records. Oh my God. So like I said, say what's up to August and Marky, her lovely boys who be all in the video. And telling Dr. Ash and her makeup sent you on over. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be soon. I got a lot of content I need to film. Oh my God. I said subscribe, girl. We gotta hit it with the Chad dance. Hey, Chad dance. Hey, 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 Chad dance. Chad dance. Chad dance. Chad dance. To all the ladies in the place with styling great. Hey. All right, y'all. Bye.